Hello? Hello? Welcome back to Life of the Germ. Oh my goodness. 2025 is here. What a day it's been. I've been traveling all day. I got back. I got back to Denver. So they flew I flew out of Milwaukee coming back from Christmas break in Wisconsin, and I had a random connection in Dallas, which I quite honestly have no idea why. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But then I connected from there to Denver after that. Met a really cool dude on the flight. Shout out David for the one time. We had a really good chat. We pretty much killed half the flight just talking and just getting to know each other better. So that was really cool. Um, but yeah, I was really excited. I got a good amount of Christmas money. And anyone that knows me knows that I like to really kind of just when I know what I want to buy, I just want to buy it right away. And I get really excited. So literally as soon as I got back to my house, I dropped off all my stuff, said hi to my roommate for literally a minute, and I was like, I got errands to do. Got my oil changed, filled up on gas, got groceries, and then I went to the big REI in Denver, which I want to say is I'm pretty sure is the biggest REI in the nation. But they got everything, and you could say I just went full Denver, just ridiculous. And I actually recorded Life of the Germ 3 days ago back at my parents' place, but I was so excited to come on here. I wanted to give you guys a little unboxing. I thought it'd be a little different from the norm. So I actually got all my stuff here from REI. I spent I think $700. It was crazy, but I'm gonna give you guys a rundown quick of what I got. Literally the most Denver Colorado stereotypical things you could buy. So first off, we got a 3 liter reservoir. So it's for hiking bags. You have often you'll have some sort of water reservoir to keep your stuff, and then you can suck with this little sucky thing, so you don't have to stop every 2 seconds. Really clutch. I have one, but mine's I left water in it, and it's just tasting kind of like mold. It's a little sauce. So I decided to just. I didn't realize how expensive these were. I mean, mine lasted 2 years, which is pretty good, but I got to be better about cleaning that out, because $50, that's a good amount of money. This one looks like an updated version though, so I'm kind of excited compared to my other one. I'll start with all the small stuff first. Second thing I got, I don't know if you guys can read that, but it's a camera clip. So basically my problem with, if I want to keep doing vlogs and stuff, is that the vlog that I have up now, the only flex docs up there right now is basically anytime I wanted to shoot, I'd have to take the camera out of my camera case and then take it out of my backpack, literally every time. So that allows you to it's a little clip that you can literally just hold your camera on the backpack strap, so you can, I think it's a one click, one little motion pops it off, and then you can take pictures, video, whatever. So I'm really excited for that. That was a really good purchase. Something else that was small, just like a new hat. I've been rocking my hat from freshman year of high school. It's freshman. All it says is just Oshkosh West cross country. Kind of cool because it's retro, but I'd be sweating in that, and then after then my ears get cold when I go to work, so I wear that same hat. I'm just bruh, I'm have this sweaty hat with after I've showered. It's just not ideal. So I think that one will become strictly for running, and then this will just be more so post shower. Okay, now oh, actually there's one more thing in here that's kind of small. So I've been getting into actually bouldering at a bouldering gym quite a bit. So it's bouldering and rock climbing. Well, rock climbing is the overarching thing, but then there's bouldering, and then there's what they call top roping, or there's also a variant of top roping. I don't actually. People are gonna slander me in the comments. Feel free, but I don't really do the one with the rope. Essentially, there's one like top roping where you put the rope over on top, basically on top of the like rock climbing wall, and then like you basically just like have this safety rope because you go up really high, right, in case you fall. And then there's this other one. It's called like I think it's called lead climbing, where you like kind of like clip into these clips along the way as you go. But both of those involve a rope, which like I'm not a huge fan of. So what I do is called bouldering, which is, again, it's the same thing except bouldering essentially is like there's no harness. It's just like you still have those like fun like colorful rocks that you guys know at like a climbing gym, but you're not like clipped in at all, and the most you're gonna get off the ground is probably like 20 feet. So I've been getting into that a lot more. So I got this like chalk bag, little like Cotopaxi chalk bag. So like basically chalk is really important to help you like get grip on the rocks. So got that. That was a nice little cup. And then off of that, I got some climbing shoes too. I got these puppies. Pretty sure these are the same shoes that Ethan Hinderman wears. Shout out Ethan. I think his channel is Ant and E-Man. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely check it out. Me and him go like bouldering / running every week. And yeah, these are the cheapest ones at REI. Not much really to be said here. You pretty much get the smallest size possible, so your toes are kind of like really pushing up against this, so you can get like better grip when you're climbing. So got those shoes. And then I got this like ski jacket. Well, snowboard jacket. We don't like the skiers. Shout out my mom. My mom just said to go to REI and get like a snowboarding jacket, because I used to have this old leather one that like just like kind of made me look like a fool on the slopes. But I actually have like a real jacket now, so really lit about that. Yeah, not much needs to be said about this. I'm just excited to wear it and try it out. And then probably my favorite purchase of the whole thing was I got some trail running shoes too. So just like everything stereotypical Colorado. Like if you don't live in Colorado, like you're probably not gonna get half this stuff. But yeah, just for trails, I'm running a like an 18-mile trail race in Zion, actually on my birthday, in April. So I need to start training for that. And basically trail running shoes just like help you get better grip. Like you can see they're super grippy. And yeah, so with all that, like it's kind of the unboxing. I got my LaCroix here that I've been wanting to crack, so I'm gonna crack that. Basically it's like 9:30 right now, and I haven't had dinner, so I'm just kind of like jittery, as you can probably tell. But I again, dude, this break, I had like 2 weeks off, and it just did wonders for me. I think I had a lot of like introspection, and I got bored. So I talked about this in the last episode, but like the boredom allowed me to kind of have some more like creative and introspective thoughts. And I think one thing that I've really been thinking a lot about, and this is sort of what the title gets at, and this is, I guess, more so aimed at like men, but it could also be aimed at like at women as well, to kind of get a better perspective of what I think a lot of men go through, and especially in this day and age. And like just introing with that, I think I sort of had this realization that I was watching some YouTube videos, and I think eventually like it just came to me. I'm not even sure exactly what one or what it was even about, but I actually think it was a woman talking about just masculinity in general, and it really clicked with me, that I think because there's this sort of culture, and the word that I'll use that I think a lot of people like to throw around, and especially in my generation, is this term called toxic masculinity. And As a guy, to be honest, like I'm not exactly sure like how to define that. How I would define it is being like kind of just a creep around women or straight up being like mean to women. Like I'm sure there's more stuff that goes into that, but basically like those are the two big hitters, I think. Um, and but I often think it gets overused a lot in society, and it gets used in context that a lot of guys are like, wait, that's really toxic, you know? And I kind of wanted to get into that a little bit because I think one thing I realize is that I think especially for Gen Zs, like you hear the word masculine and like immediately my mind, and I think a lot of other people's mind immediately think like negative, bad, and it's like this terrible thing that we sort of like have learned to look down upon in society. And I think one thing I realized over break is like after watching this video, I realized I was like over the past probably like I don't know since I attended college, I feel like when it started to become popular, I feel like was like in like college until now. So like the past like 7 years, I've been sort of like society. I feel like has put a lot of men in just this box, right? Where and that's how it feels for me at least. And but I think I can speak for a lot of men that feel this way as well. Where okay, we're a guy, which not always, but pretty much like very very often makes us have masculine traits, right? I mean, even if even if you don't have a masculine personality per se, like you do have physically masculine traits, right? And that alone, like that is an identity for me, right? Like being masculine, right? In terms of like physically, but also like personality wise, like if I'm if I am a guy, right, I'm going to often like based on just my like chemistry in my body, right? The testosterone running through my veins, like all these hormones, like I'm often gonna have like a masculine personality, right? And like that can come in a lot of different variations, right? And like but it leads you to have certain thoughts and to do certain things. Not like I'm not talking sexually at all, like just purely like personality wise, right? And with all that being said, I think there how I was kind of coming into myself, right, into college, right, that immediately this term toxic masculinity comes. And immediately I don't really know what it's really about. People are just throwing it around like it's nothing. And I'm like, I'm a dude. I feel like I'm more on I feel like I'm definitely still masculine, but I'd say like less so than other people. I feel like I have this like sort of more so like artsy side that I feel like Regar is like closely more related to like a feminine type deal, but I'm definitely still masculine, right? Like I am a dude. I am masculine, right? And I think it was this sort of identity that I realized I feel like I've sort of felt like I was kind of boxed in and almost forced to leave behind because of society, because of this stigma that, you know, like it almost feels like as a guy, and I don't want to speak for all guys, but I think a lot of guys feel this that like all masculinity is like bad, right? And it's almost like you're sort of turning away a part of yourself a little bit. And I think like it was definitely and I think has been very like suppressive to my development in a lot of ways. And I think I finally like realized that. And one of the biggest things that I think I realized was just like I think just like speaking my mind on things like because I think in this life, you know, demographically I'm a white male, so given that you know the trope is that I'm most privileged, and I am, right? Like I have a lot of things in my favor stacked in my way because of the historical events that have occurred in this country and quite honestly the world, right? And I realize that, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't still be able to speak my mind about stuff and I have an opinion. And I think part of like being masculine is sharing that opinion with others and being sort of like not afraid to speak on that, right? And I think those two things together, like speaking my mind and masculinity, like I feel like fit together in a lot of ways. And like when you pair those two together, I feel like it's often like the masculine energy allows you to speak your mind in a more like direct and clear way, right? I think that's often the trope for a lot of guys. You find that like a lot of guys they tend to be very direct, and I feel like that's it's often like associated with masculinity quite a bit. And um yeah, I think all this to say, like, I've really had a lot to think, and I've really like, instead of like sort of suppressing that, I'm really like coming back from this break. I'm really excited to like embrace that and embrace like that part of me because I am masculine, right? And I have these traits. I'm a guy, and I think I'm going to speak my mind about stuff more. And I don't have any specific examples. I just think when it arises that an opinion that there's an opinionated conversation because I'm like the guy and especially the white guy it doesn't mean like I'm just gonna like kind of just like go with the flow, right? And I think the past few years that's honestly kind of what I've been doing. And I'm glad I don't regret anything. Like that's sort of like like I went through that and I learned something. And I'm not gonna say like it was terrible, right? But I think there were definitely moments where, because of that, and because of my demographic, and because I'm this dude, and because like I feel like I thought that like, and who I think there are people out there that probably do like feel that being masculine is still terrible. And like for those people, like go ahead. Like I genuinely don't care. But I think when you don't allow a guy to be masculine and like suppress that, like you are squeezing him into this box. And then like there is this point where it's like, okay, what's my niche in society? And I think a lot of guys are going through this. And I think it's just one aspect as to why like white males, like young white males, have the highest rate of suicide. Like, and like I don't think this is the only reason, but I think this is definitely a factor that plays in, because if they feel like they have nowhere to go, right? Like, okay, so society says I can't even be masculine, then who am I? Who am I to be? And it's like it's just not fair. It really isn't. And I think it's a complicated situation, but I'm here to say like if you're a guy listening to this, like don't be afraid to like speak your mind on stuff, and don't be afraid to like I think let those masculine traits like be shown, right? Like don't be a creep, right? These things go without saying. And it's these guys that are creeps and are weird to women that really screw it up for like good guys. Like good guys is like probably the guys that are watching this, and myself, like, and my all my friends. Like it screws it up for guys like us, because it's like, okay, then like all women, like women start to assume that like a lot of guys are like that. And then it's like then there's this trope like masculinity's bad, and it's just not the case. Like I think a lot of masculine traits are really like powerful. Like I think you get that this idea of like something that I thought too is like I think masculinity is often associated with being like the protector in situations, which I think again society like doesn't like to admit, but that's like um that is like a very powerful and valuable trait in society to have. And again, like not saying women can't be protectors as well, right? But like I think this is a trait that like if you're masculine, like you do just naturally have that trait. And I think that that's like cool. Like that's a cool trait that like instead of like men suppressing that, like just express that. Like speak your mind on stuff. Like don't be afraid to obviously like I think regardless, like men would protect whoever, whenever. It doesn't really matter. I think that's just like that's part of what being a dude is, to be honest with you. Like, not just a dude. I think it's part of being what like a human is in general. But I think you guys get what I'm saying, and I wanted to speak out on this because like I feel like it's something that has always been like lurking in the background, but I've never really like kind of pulled it out and really thought about it a lot until now. So, with all that being said, like, I hope you guys enjoy this. For the dudes, like, I hope you're able to like embrace your masculinity more in like a positive way, obviously, and like, yeah, speak your mind more and stuff. Don't be afraid just because you're the dude or you're like the white guy in the room, like your opinion still matters, right? And it's not like it's invalidated because of your demographics, right? And for the girls listening too, I think it's honestly like I hope like this provided some perspective for you all as well as to what a lot of like young men are kind of faced with, and I don't think it's all guys, but it's I think if I'm speaking on it, it's definitely not just me, right? So with all that being said, we got album of the week, which I actually already have given album of the week to this album. It's Charm by Clairo. My sister's got me this on I so when I had it in my last episodes, I had it as like a printed out picture, but my sister's like saw that and I think like got the message that like, you know, it would have been a nice album to actually have. So I have that album, and then I'm also wearing some I don't know if you can see it right here. Oh, it's kind of hard. Daywave drip. So we're gonna have like, I mean, if you haven't listened to that album, definitely check it out. But also check out Daywave. Like I don't, the album that really got me hooked was called Past Life by Daywave. Give that album a listen. It's definitely like indie vibes, but they're really good stuff, and I really like Daywave. So hope you guys enjoyed like Wisdom of the Week. I think I wanted to announce too. I'm gonna start doing like a science fact every week. I might have mentioned this in the last episode, but not just related to immunology, but also like I don't know. One thought I had was like recently. I was like, how to, like, okay, tap pay is a totally different thing with credit cards, but even like, remember when like people used to swipe credit cards? Like, how does that black strip actually initiate like the machine to know that that's the card that's being swiped? Like weird science things like this that have always kind of like piqued my curiosity. I'm gonna like speak on more, and I'm gonna like do wisdom of the week, but also science of the week, also album of the week. Like we're just going everything of the week. So hope you guys are looking forward to that. Hope you guys enjoyed the little REI unboxing. Really excited to use all this stuff and just go full Colorado mode on you guys. So yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one.